You already know we're fucking recording, dude. Let's pog this shit up.
Did you fix?
Yeah, well, I'm back in it, brother.
Alright, what is 5? Oh, I guess that's our starting number.
Good start.
Only odd. Big. Tries not to sound stupid for 2 seconds.
What is 5?
5 is, only odd numbers are in corners. Row 5's numbers rise left to right. A2 or D5 is on 1.
Okay.
Interesting.
In that
Only
case,
odd numbers are in corners, and row 5 adds left to right. So E5 can't be anything small. It has to be 5 or 7 or 9. Cannot be 1 or 3.
okay, I got you.
And it says A2 or
So
D5 is a 1, but that no, D5 can't be a 1 because it wouldn't make sense if row 5 only adds up left to right. D5 has to be bigger than 1. It would have to be 4 at least.
D5 has to be. What do you mean?
It's row number 5.
Yeah.
Adds left to right, they get bigger. And then D5 is a 1. Or A2 is a 1. But this couldn't be 1.
You're right. It couldn't.
So this has to be 1.
True. Okay. There is a 1 in every row with a 9. Okay.
A3 plus B3 is less than C3. Okay. I don't really know how that helps us get corners at all.
So C3 is greater than A3 and B3.
Which means it has to be at least 3.
Okay.
But actually it has to be bigger than 3 because A3 can't be 1. It
True.
would have to be at least 2, which means this would have to be at least 4.
Bigger than.
Oh, it also couldn't be 4. It would have to be at least 5.
Why couldn't it be 4?
Because if A3 has to be 2, because 1's already here, 2 couldn't be in the same column as another 2. So this would have to be at minimum 2. Oh, it could be 2 plus 1, to be fair. So this, yeah, it could be 3.
Okay.
So let me make sure the rules are the same. I would assume they are.
So C3 is greater than 4, or C3 is greater than 3? Or 2, I guess.
Yeah, we still have Sudoku rules. Say again?
It's greater than 3. C3 is greater than 3. Yes.
It's 3.
It has to be 4 or higher, because it has to be 1
Yeah,
and
it
2.
has to be. Yeah, it has to be 4 bigger. Yeah.
Or 3 or bigger, I should say.
No, 4 bigger. Because it can't be equal to them. So even if it was 2 plus 1, it has to be bigger than it. So you were right the first time.
Okay.
It's greater than 3.
Nice. We're off to a good start, is all I'm going to say.
I think the odd numbers in the corners is tough. Oh, maybe. This would have to be 3, at least. Because it can't be 1 anymore.
True.
It can't be 5 either. And it can't be 7. Because it would be
Yeah, you're right. It has
7,
to
8, 9.
Yeah,
So it has to be 3.
It has to be 3.
It'd be 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nice. Which means
Nice. No, you
that
fucking troll.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fucking retarded. Why did I say? How did I count?
Flawless, Rusty!
I mistyped.
He mistyped, chat. Chat.
Cats.
We don't know anything about that one.
Yeah.
Numbers are adjacent. No, numbers adjacent to A1 add up to 11. Numbers adjacent to E1.
Wait, this has to be 9
Hold on. Why does it have to be 9?
because all the odds or all corners are odd.
Could it not be a 1?
It could be a 1.
You fucking troll.
See, I didn't type it though. I asked first.
He's learning.
I want the flawless.
1 or 3. What do you... Brother. Antiquated
No, it's
knowledge.
flawless.
Oh, so true.
Misclick. That's all it was.
Oh, right.
So true.
Okay, well, numbers adjacent to A1 add up to 11. So B2 and B1 have to equal 10. And they can't both be 5s. So they have to be
Maybe like 4 and 6, 3 and 7,
4 and
2
6,
and 8.
3 and 7, 2 and 8. They have to be
Has to be one of those combos.
1 and 9.
Numbers adjacent to E1 add up to...
They can be 1 and 9. Yeah, they can be fucking anything. God damn it.
Yep. Could literally be all the combos except 5s. Which is off the table anyways. Did we have another one? I feel like we did have one more. Maybe I'm tripping.
Hold on. B1 and B2.
Goes left to right. B5's 1, right 2.
5. Numbers adjacent to E1. Okay, well, we don't know fucking E1 yet. There is a 6 adjacent to A5. Okay.
B4 plus 1 plus 8.
What did you just say?
Reading the last part of E5.
C4 plus 1 equals A4. Can't be a 1.
Also, wait. 3, 4, 5, 6. These literally have to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
4, 5, 6. You're right. 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so that's huge.
And we got all actual clues.
That's hog. 3 4s adjacent. Okay. Helpful.
Fucking hell.
3 4s being adjacent to D3 is actually insanely helpful because of Sudoku. Like, there will only be one way for that to work.
Yeah.
Like, once 1 or 2 are in there, it's going to eliminate the others really quickly. 5. Okay.
There is no 7 or 8 in column D.
D3 is not a 5. Okay.
Equal 20. Damn. 9? Yeah, it could be 9s. Okay.
A1 is completely useless now, so we don't have to read that anymore. There's a 1 in every row with a 9. We know C3 is at least greater than 3. C3 in this equation. I guess I should look at the fucking equation. D2 is equal to B1. Okay. A lot of free hints in this one. C1 plus C2 are equal to D4 plus E4. We also know nothing about, so thank you. B3 and B4 added together are equal to A3.
That's interesting because A3 plus B3 is also less than C3.
True. That is something. We know this can't be 1 or 3, and it's probably not 5, so it's more than likely 2 or 4.
Hold on. A3.
It has to be 2 or 4, actually.
Why does it have to be explained to me more?
It's more than likely 2 or 4. It does not have to be. It's not ruled out.
Can it be? Let's see, 2, 4. Can it be? Can it be 6? 6 is the next biggest thing it could possibly be.
So if it was 6, this could be anything, from what I can tell still. But it could be anything, because even if it was added to something else to equal A3, there's no... Oh, wait. But B3,
Yeah,
because this was the one, yeah, this one added to something else equals this one. So this one's definitely at least bigger than B3.
A3 plus B3 is less than C3. C3 has to be quite large at this point, I think, right?
Yeah, A3 is greater than B3. Guaranteed. It has to be. Because the minimum B3 and B4 would be 1 and 2. So A3 is at least 3 or bigger.
A3 is 3 or bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not 2 anymore. So it's 4, 6...
And it can't be 3, and it can't be 5. So it's, 4, 6...
Can it be 7? 7.
I think it can be 7 and 8. It could be 4, 6, 7, and 8 right now.
Okay.
Because all it has to do is add itself.
7, 8.
But
to a minute, B3 could
it
be...
actually can't be. It can't be 8.
Why?
Because it has to be less than C3. So even if B3 was 1,
yeah, you're right. Okay.
It would equal 9.
Okay.
So 4, 6, or 7.
4, 6, or 7, and greater than B3.
Which means B3 could be well, if this can't be
the minimum, does that mean the minimum C3 or sorry, because the minimum A3 can be now is 4, the minimum C3 can be is now 5. Or no, it is now 6. Because C3 has to be bigger than the minimum of A3, which is 4, plus at the minimum number possible, which is 1, which is 5, so it has to be at least a 6, C3.
Why can't A3 be 2 again, even though I just said it?
I don't know why you said it. I was trusting
because 2 other ones added together equal it, which it couldn't be, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Could there not be 2 ones? Oh, you're right, because they're both B column things.
Because,
right.
they both be in the same row column.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 4, 6, or 7, but if it was a 7, actually, no, because it can't be. It could be a 4, and you could still have 3 and 1, so no, that wouldn't work. So that's not off the table yet. But yeah, the minimum C3 could be is 5 or better or greater.
6.
Is it 6?
Yeah. Because the smallest A3 can be is 4. Add 1 more minimum.
Oh
which
yeah,
is 5.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well that's something. There is a 6 adjacent
to A5.
Which is interesting, because it could be A4 or B4, but if it is B4, that would make it equal to A3, which would mean it would have to be at least, that would make B3 1 for sure if it was B4, which, I mean, tell us anything, but makes it almost more likely it's an A4. Depends on what we get near there.
And A4 is 1 greater than C4. So
Is
it's
it?
at least...
Oh, it is.
So it's not a 1. Can it be a 2? At 1 greater? It could be a 2. C4, can C4 be a 2? Or a 1, sorry? Yes. So A4 can be a 2, I think. A4 is 1 greater than C4. Yes, A4 can be a 2. Can be a 2 and then 2, 3,
I think
2,
it can be anything.
4. It can't be a 6. A4 can't be a 6.
Why?
Because C4 can't be a 5, because C5 is a 5. And if A4 is guaranteed to be 1 more than C4, that means that B4 is the 6. That surrounds A5.
Literally has to be. And I'm pretty sure, let me make sure I follow. This has to be a 5.
Or what?
This one has to be 5.
No.
Right?
It's not possible for that to be a 5.
Which one?
Because C5 is a 5. So
Was it
C column can
Oh,
have a
I
5.
see. What was I thinking? I thought I saw a middle number thing somewhere, but that might have been. I might just be tripping. Yes, this is a 5.
No.
That
It's anything except
I
the
can't
5.
click on it.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
I can't highlight it. So whenever I click on these, I'm like, yeah, this one, and then I try and click on this, and it's like, nope, not
I'm
that
like,
one.
it's literally anything except a 5. Yes, that's a 5.
But it's C4 plus 1 equals A4, which means
The only way A4 can be the 6 that surrounds A5 is if C4 is the 5 that is 1 minus A4. That didn't really make a whole lot of sense. You follow me.
I followed you the first time really well. Now I'm
Okay,
completely lost
I'll
here.
explain it slowly and I'll think about what I'm saying. If we know that there's a 6 next to A5 and either A4 or B4, if A4 is the 6, and we know that A4 is 1 more than C4,
Yeah, this can't be 5.
Right.
I see. Yeah, that's much missing out. Which means this has to be 1, doesn't it?
hold on.
It's very close to 1 at least now.
I don't know that we know that.
It's not a guarantee. It's just it narrows down the things that we were saying before with A3. Because A3 is
Well, hold on. What are we
equal
thinking?
to-
What are our B3 options? I don't have B3 on the notepad yet.
Well, it's probably 1. It can be 2.
Can it be 3?
Can it be 4? Because A3... Technically... Because what was our A3 options? 4, 6, and 7?
Yes, 4, 6, and 7.
It could be 3, but it can't be bigger than 3.
Okay. Because then it would be minimum, next would be 5. Yeah, you're right.
So-
Yeah, okay. So 1, 2, or 3.
A3 plus B3 has to be less than C3. If it was 1 or 2, it would be 7 or 8 at least.
What?
So B3
Right.
plus B4 is A3.
Whoa, hold on. B3 plus... Okay, yeah.
But A3 plus B3 is less than C3.
Oh, wait, hold on. What the fuck? B3 plus B4 is A3. And
Yep.
A3 and B3 is... So B3, like, has to be...
It has to be at least, at most 2. No, it can't be. It has to be 1. It literally has to be 1. Because if it's 1 plus 6 equals 7, then 7 plus 1 equals 8. Nothing is bigger than 8 but 9.
True. Does that mean we just did all of those? Because there's only one possible answer?
Yeah, it would be 1, 7, 9, I think. Right?
1... Okay.
So C5's block is B3 plus B4. So our blank one that I'm highlighting plus
Yes.
6 equals A3.
Right, so that's 7.
And A3
is 7.
plus whatever B3 is
Would be
has
8.
to be less than C3.
True.
And
Okay.
so
you're
it
right.
can't be any bigger than that.
So it's 7, 1, 8 across. Yeah.
What? 1, 7. This has to be...
8.
This has to be 9.
Oh, wait, you're right. I'm
It
dumb.
was like... sorry, I was
Ah!
thinking. Okay, huge. That's something. All no hints, so love that.
Okay, well, we're done with these.
I assume they want us to go back to the maths, because I was only using one of those. I don't even think none of the others are even available yet. D2 equals B1. Okay, it's also useless.
There are 3 4s adjacent to D3. Okay.
7 or 8 in column D. D3 is not a 5. Okay. We got the 6 adjacent. That's nice. C4 plus 1 equals A4. Okay, so E5 and A1 are both useless now. We use them up.
Kind of. We know eventually when we get either C4 or A4 that E5 still matters because we know that A4 is going to be one more, but that's such a simple one we don't even need to come back to it almost.
C4 plus 1 equals A4. Oh, yeah. Okay, my fault. I thought, yeah, we didn't get that one yet.
D2
numbers adjacent to A1 add up to 11. So still not incredibly helpful.
Yeah, all we know is B1 and B2 add up to 10.
We can take the 6 plus 4 out. It can't be 6 or 4, and B1 or B2.
Okay, hold on.
Because 6 is already in the column now.
B1 is now not a 1, a 6, or 4. So it's a 2.
Yeah. Can't be 1 or 9, can't be 6 or 4. So it has to be 2 or 8, 3 or 7.
2, 8.
I believe.
3, 7. And B2 is the exact same, essentially. Yes, it is.
There's a 1 in every row with a 9. Okay, we already got that one with 9, so sad. Sage.
Hold on. D2 is equal to B1. So we know D2 is also a 2, 3, 7, or an 8.
True. Do we know anything else about D2?
We know that if you add it with D1 and E2, it equals 20. Oh, we also know it also can't be it can't be a 7 or an 8. Yeah, so that means B. What is it? What did I just say? B1 cannot be a 7 or an 8. So 2 and 3. Oh, okay.
Which means
2 or 3. Was that means B? Did I just do that wrong? Yeah, I did. This one's 7, 8.
2 plus 7, 3 plus 8.
Does that mean that B2 can't be 2 or 3?
It should.
Yes, it does mean that.
B1 has to be...
They have to equal 10.
They have to equal 10, so it has to be 2 and 3, or sorry, 2 and 7 or 3, 2 and 8 and 3 and 7. But there's no 7 or 8 in column D.
I think we got it like this. I think this is right.
Yeah. Where's the D rule?
D5.
D2 is equal to B1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's not a 7 or 8, which means, yeah, B1 has to be a 2 or a 3.
B2 has to be a 7 or an 8. Okay.
Yeah.
We're getting somewhere.
Okay.
What else do we know about? You know that C1 plus D4 is kind of weird. We don't really know a whole fucking lot about D4. Yeah, D2 is a 2 or a 3. That's really low. Especially if it's supposed to add up to... In the arms of the angel.
I thought
Copy me
you
first?
clicked something. I was like, what the fuck?
On the go.
5, 1, 7.
1, 6, 4. 9, 5. 6, 7.
Yep.
Okay. What was I just looking at? Right, I was going to do...
You were saying something about something being really small?
Yeah, D2... because we know that D1, D2, and E2 have to equal 20, which is quite large. Especially when you consider that D2 is maximum of 3.
True.
And we know that there's no 7
20 from there.
And D1. Hold on. Is it possible? Is it even possible? Let's see.
No, it has to be 3.
D1 has to be a 9. D1 has to be 9. Because it can't be a 7 or an 8, and it can't be a 6 because a 6 plus a 6 plus a 3 is a 9, and F, that means E2 can't be an 11. So D1 has to be 9.
How did you get D1 and not D2? Because doesn't that mean D2 has to be 3? If they have to add up to 20?
No, because E2 could still be something... If D1 has to be 9 regardless. That makes sense. Which means that's a 3. Which means that means we have 12. No, because E2 could be an 8 or a 9.
How was D1 the 9? Or the whatever?
Because... So we have to equal 20. And we have maximum of 3 on D2.
I think it has to be 3. The smallest two numbers you can put together are 9 and 8, which is 17. So D1 and E2 could both be 9 or 8, but D2 would have to be 3.
If D1 is 9, E2 can also be 9, which means 18.
Oh, I see what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, but then how are you getting 9 guaranteed for D1?
Well, because it can't be an 8 or a 7, and 6 is way too low.
Oh, I agree.
D1 has to be 9. Nice. That's all we know. We don't know anything.
Good breakdown. I see what you mean with the 9 and 8. This could be 2 or 3 still, technically, if this is 9.
We do know that E2 is guaranteed an 8 or a 9, though.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, for sure. It has to be.
Yep.
And if it's an 8, D2 is 3. And if it's a 9, D2 is 1 or 2.
Okay. Numbers adjacent to E5, which we have, add up to 11, and we already have a 6. So we need to get...
Interesting. So we have 5 more.
So that means those are quite small. Well, so what are the maximum amount of those going to be? 1 and 4 and 2 and 3?
Yeah.
D4.
It can be all of them.
1, 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, yeah. D4, 1, 2, 3, 4, E4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. E4.
Could be any combo.
Okay.
It cannot be. It can be, but it's very unlikely that it's 2 or 3 because D2 has to be 2 or 3. So it's not. There's no guarantee, but
true.
D2 has to be 2 or 3. Also, E1 has to be an odd number.
Yeah, it's a 1 or a 3. We know that. We don't know anything. It doesn't nothing else is
no
dependent on
guarantee
it.
for it. Yeah.
So we don't know.
It's just that it is odd.
Although we do know more stuff about D4 now, because we know C1 and C2 equal D4 and E4. So that means they also have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
They equal 5 at least. C1 plus C2 equals 5 because D4 and E4 have to add up to 11 with 6.
Right, we know they have to equal 5.
Which means C1 and C2 also have to equal 5.
Well, yeah, which means they're also 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. C1, 1, 2, 3, 4.
The 4 is adjacent. Wait, there are 3 4s. How did I read that completely wrong?
3, 4.
There are 3 4s adjacent to D3. There's still plenty of spots for that to be possible, so that's not really helpful.
Yeah.
There is a 1 for sure in the top row, because there's a 1 in every row with a 9. Doesn't really tell us where, but there is a 1 for sure in the top row.
Well, we know it's not B1, and so it's either C1 or E1, which is both possible. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because B1 has to be 2 and 3, that's right. Yeah, so C1 and E1 can also both be 1.
We already had that, yeah. So it didn't really give us anything.
Numbers adjacent out to 20 is what we were going off of. B3 and B4, SA3. D2 is equal to B1.
Wait.
Which
there are 3 4s adjacent to D3. So that means there's one in A. That means there's one in the 2 column, or sorry, the 2 row, the 3 row, and the 4 row. And there's only one spot open left on the 3 row. If we're going Sudoku rules, it has to be E3 is guaranteed to be a 4. Because you can.
There's only one spot open.
Because D3 can't be the 4 that is next to itself. And you can't have and because there's only 2 rows, like a row above and a row beneath, you can't have 2 4s in that row because Sudoku rules. Which means there has to be one in the 3 row that is next to D3, so E3 has to be 4. Does he trust me? Oh, ask me questions and I'll explain to you. Like, just tell me why you're not sure.
It was 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Could literally be in any of these slots, but it would have to be in this one. He's crazy.
Nice.
Good Sudoku rule.
Okay. And we know...
What's funny is the first time you said it, it made perfect sense. And I was like, wait, he's right. And then I looked at the board and I was like, I don't follow. Yeah, that's actually a huge breakdown.
Just caught my eye. I was like, yoink. Get me in there.
Also, one of these has to be... No, it doesn't have to be. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, but C4 could be 4. This could be 2 and 3, so it's not helpful.
Yeah.
But for that, I keep looking at our math rule because we don't have enough for it yet. C1, C2, D4, D4. Didn't get any.
You don't realize how much the having the increased, like, the number ones, like it carries so hard. Just like get so many things early. Like the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like in each one of these we've done, they've had one of those. And it just carries for like a whole row. So helpful.
That's very nice. Want another hint.
What do we
I
know?
assume we'll probably get one late.
Hold on, let's do Sudoku rules for D3 real fast, because there's a lot of things that D3 is affected by.
True. We know it can't be 7 or 8. There's another thing that affects the whole column, I think.
D5. It's not a 1. Can it be a 2? It can be a 2. It's not. Can it be a 3? It can be a 3. Can it be a 4?
Can it be 2, 3, 5?
Why not 4? Right, I see. 5 and... No, it can't be 8.
Or, yeah, can only be 2, 3, 5, and 4. 2, 3, 5.
No, it can't be 5. D3 is not
Oh.
a 5. End of D5 rule. Can it be a 6? No. That's 2 or a 3 then. That's quite good. D3 is a 2 or a 3.
Can't be a 6?
No, because D5 is a 6.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, so 2, 3, 5.
6, 7, 8, 9 is off rules. 5 is off rules, which means... And then 4 is off there. 1 is off there. It's a 2 or a 3. Yeah. It's a 2 or a 3. Yeah.
How's 5 off rules for this one?
Because the end of D5 rule. D3 is not a 5.
Literally is not a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I kept reading the first part, and I was like, what the hell? Where's 5 coming from? This
Bro,
is not a
crazy.
5. Okay, fair enough. Game's like, motherfucker, it's not a 5.
Pay attention. That's good. Okay. We've got quite a lot of information here.
It's definitely, knowing how his last one was, I almost guarantee you there's a math necessity breakdown.
Yeah.
Comparing and contrasting our our like potentials last time actually really helped narrow it down.
Yeah.
We don't have any yet, but I have a feeling we will need them. I also think theory is going to be like very important. Like just knowing, because we've already like kind of determined what things could be at their best, at the most, based on like the fact that they're like equal to something else or less than or greater than something else, without knowing the exact square to just get more numbers down and then breaking them down from other rules. I have a feeling like C1, C2, D4, D4 are huge because we know they have to equal 5 together, but I feel like there's something that I'm missing there as well.
Yeah. Well, we've got quite a lot of rules here. Or like we've got quite a lot of notes. Do we have all of the E column? Do we have E2? Yeah, E1, E2. E3's done. Do we have E4? We do have E4. Do we have D2? We do. Do we have D3? We do. We just did it. We have D4? We do. C1, C2. I'm just going to go through and look at all of the things that things can and can't be. Like let's do C4 next. What is C4 possible and not possible to be? We know it's one less
Yeah, it's at least A4. One less than A4.
Which means it's... What's the smallest A4 can be? Let's do A4 first. I think that'll help a little bit more.
Well, A4... could be 9, yeah. I don't think A4 can't be not anything. It's not applied to anything else.
Well, we know it's not 5, 1... it's not a 3.
It can be a 9. It can't be 8.
Why can't it be 8?
Can it be 8?
We know it's not the 6, so it's not
I think
a
it can
3.
Be 9 or 8.
It's not a...
And 5. No, it can be 9, 8. Or... and 2.
So 2,
can
4,
definitely
8,
be a 2.
9.
It can definitely be, yeah, it can definitely be a 4. It can definitely be an 8. And it can be a 9 as well, yeah. So we make that an 8. We'll make it a 7. Gonna keep that from being a 7, which would work anyways.
C4 is a 1, a 3, a 7, or an 8.
It can't be 5.
C4.
Which one?
C4 is a 1, a 3, or 7, or an 8, because it has to be 1 less than each of the ones we just gave A4.
Can't be 1.
What can it be 1?
And it can't actually get 0. Oh, you...
C4.
Oh, yeah, C4 can be 1, yeah.
C4 is 1, 3, 7, or 8.
I see, yeah.
Okay. That means either D4 or C4 is the 4 that's surrounding D3, because C4 is not possible to be a 4. So that means either D4
sure.
or E4 is the 4, and that means the other one is a 1 because they have to equal. So it is 4 and 1 for those two.
4 and 1, which means D4 has to be 4.
Why?
Because E3 is already 4.
True. Yeah.
Which makes sense, yeah. Because this can't be 4. Which means these both have to be. And this one can't be.
I like that.
It has to be 4 and this has to be 1.
Nice. That's big. Okay, so that means
big.
C4 can't be a 1 anymore. Which means A4 can't be a 2 anymore. We know... What else do we know? We know E1 is a 3 because E4 is now a 1. E1 is a 3.
Fucking Pog, actually.
Oh. Well, E2. Do we know what E2? We don't know shit about E2. Okay.
Where's the adjacent one?
Let's go the 1.
We still don't have that yet.
B1 is a 2.
Yeah, because it could only be 2 or 3. So this is 8.
Yep. Okay.
7s. Okay, so we only have one more 7.
And what was the rule about D? D2 is the same as something else. D2 is B1. D2 is
Oh, yep.
a 2.
This is A2. B4 and E4 equal B3 and B4. No. D4 and E4 equals C1 and C2. So this is also 5.
Hold on. Let me catch up real fast. I'm still, like, deleting shit we don't need anymore.
Already solved it.
What? What's going on?
C1 plus C2 equals D4 plus E4. So 5. Which means this has to be 1 and 4, 2 and 3. But it can't be 2 or 3 in either. If you put a 3 here, you can't put a 2 here. If you put a 2 here, you can't put a 2 there anyways. So it has to be 1 and 4, and 1 is already in this row as well.
Okay, true. So that's 4. Yeah, and that's 1. Okay, so that's C1 and C2 done.
Also, this is 9. This is 2, which means this is 9, because we did that earlier.
True.
This has to add up to 20.
Yep, you're right. D3, C4. C4, we're still...
And we got all 3 adjacent 4s.
We know that D2 is a... we know D3 is a 3. Can't be a 2, because D2 is not a 2. So that's a 3.
Huh?
That's a 3. Because it was
Why?
either a 2 or a 3, and now D2 is a 2. So it has to be 3.
Is it a 2 or a 3?
I just deleted it. It was.
Notes. Oh.
Okay, so now we just know...
And we just know A4 is 1 bigger than C4.
A...
well, we can narrow this down.
Yeah.
What are all C4's possibilities? Can't be 1.
3, 7, 8.
Those are all still on the table, so it's annoying.
Wait, we know there's... where was the one we just... there are only 2 7s in this puzzle, which means there are guaranteed 2 7s. How many 7s do we have? So
both.
7s are not an option. So 7 and 8. So it's like this.
Three, 8, 4, 9.
A4 can't be a 4 because D4 is a 4.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it is.
So it's got to be 9 A4.
Yep. And 8. We crushed that one.
That one was much faster. Still almost 35 minutes, which is crazy. They're tough. Much easier though than the last one.